Stress is intense, but you aren't? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic, and this is a Brain Snob, episode 46. I want everyone to be a brain snob. It's not an insult to be called a brain snob. It's a high compliment. It means you know enough about the brain to give yourself amazing life experiences, because a burdened brain is a disease magnet as well as lost talent, and we need your talent. We need your full participation in the world. A performing brain can change the world. So your brain makes the body, you make your life. You come into the chiropractic office and get your BFA template and the BFA map for the healing journey. What is BFA? It is brain first always. It's the approach I combine with chiropractic to give you these brain benefits. So I have realized that stress is intense, but if you don't match that intensity level with your counteraction plan, your stress management plan, and I mentioned this in episode 45, if your lifestyle activities don't match that level of intensity, then stress wins. And we don't want that, because that's when you lose your energy, you lose your health, you're feeling chronic aches and pains, just chronic degeneration, and you just feel like life has passed you by. We can't have that. Stress is intense. That's just the fact of life. Stress is here every day. Stress never takes a day off. Neither should you. Neither should your lifestyle activities. I talk to people day in and day out, and what bothers them the most? The emotional stresses of everyday life. The things they have to do, the things that they're not doing, relationship issues, not having enough time to rest and recuperate, financial issues, and a lot of it can be addressed. Some things are not in our control, but a lot of things are in our control. And that's the beauty of it, because you can decrease your stress. You can decrease the activities that make you feel more stressed. And you can add to your good habits. The good habits that you have now, you can do other things in addition to it. But your body can suck it up for a while until it gives out. So are we going to push the envelope? How far are we going to keep doing that? You don't want to abuse that stress defense mechanism that's in place that protects you from the real dangers. We do have daily stress that's kind of annoying, frustrating. Yes, we worry a lot. We've got plenty to be upset about. But it's not going to be life. It's not an immediate danger like the caveman days where you're running away from a lion. That's the ultimate danger, when you've got to run to save your life. But the stresses of today, they're just as important to you. They are things you need to be deciding. You have to decide how much stress you want to put up with. Yes, it is different, but it's just as bad for your health as well. Don't be the boy who cried wolf, or the Chicken Little that the sky is falling, because your body will eventually not handle the stress anymore. When you keep bombarding your nervous system with stress over and over and over again, it's finally going to say, I give up. It's going to wave the white flag. Here's the white flag. And the perfect example is insulin resistance. You develop such a high level of insulin productivity, high blood sugar, eventually your cells are resistant. They just give up. They do not handle that amount of chemical insult in the body anymore. That's insulin resistance. And you become healing resistant. That's when your tissues cannot receive nutrition. It can't correct itself from these imbalances. It cannot receive the adjustments, healing energy. So don't become healing resistant. I was listening to a lecture by Jason Fung. You can go to YouTube, and he's a great speaker. He's very captivating, so you really want to listen to him. And he's enjoyable, but he's a nephrologist, and he focuses on kidney issues and people who are on dialysis, and diabetes is a major problem. Obesity along with diabetes. And I'm quoting him from a YouTube video I was listening to, and he said, as he's remarking on how far healthcare helps people and where it reaches its limit, and he says, I am holding their hand until they get a heart attack or they're put on dialysis, and then we're chopping their feet off. I thought that was profound. I had to write it down, and that's amazing, because he says we can only go so far with how we help people. And he's just watching their health get worse. And he says, I'm just holding their hand. He feels it's futile. Everything he's doing is futile. And that's why he has branched out into dietary therapy, intensive dietary management. And he is making inroads. He's helping people who are obese lose the weight so they don't have that insulin resistance, so they're improving their diabetes. It's really nice. And listen to him with his interviews, because everything he offers, anybody can apply to their own life, because this is lifestyle. Lifestyle is what we decide to do, and it really has more impact, a whole lot more impact on how our health progresses or regresses. And I hate to see people hit the point of no return, and because stress is intense, and you've got to have an intense stress management plan in place. You have to fight it with equal ferocity, intenseness. And last week there was a story about a teenager who went blind because he was eating the same crappy foods for, 7 years, and he had the warning signs. I don't know where his parents were in this article. It was written up as a case study, but he went blind because of severe mineral deficiencies and B12 deficiencies. It is kind of far-fetched. It's out there. He was eating deli ham, Pringles potato chips, white bread, and some other awful processed thing. And although it is an extreme example, because they did label him as somebody with a severe food, just severe food issue, where he only liked those things. I don't know why that happened, if it developed into some type of addiction where he only liked salty, refined foods, but he was very particular. They called him a picky eater, that's what it said. But he went blind because the inflammation eventually attacked his optic nerve, and it is irreversible at this point. In fact, a few years earlier, he did have reversible issues, and I think his hearing was affected as well. Look it up. It was in the British Medical Journal, I believe. But that's 7 years of being warned that this is too much stress on the body. Stress is intense, but we've got to be just as intense. And so how are you going to do that? Because the 3 types of stressors, mechanical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress, they sneak up on us. And sometimes we build up we're aggravated and frustrated, and we tolerate them. We just put up with not feeling well. Why do we want to do that? Then it almost becomes the new normal, and that's not good. We want to get beyond that. So the mechanical stressors would be microtrauma and repetitive strain. And if you are dealing with microtrauma and repetitive strain, ask me about it. Come into the office and we'll talk about those types of mechanical stressors, because microtrauma is very degenerative. But if you don't know what it is, or you don't know if it's part of your lifestyle, come on in and let's talk about it. We can iron out these little details. Chemical stress. Too much of some things and too little of some things. So I can talk about that with you when you come in for your appointment. So there's a detoxification questionnaire on my website, createpurpose.com. It is off to the left of the screen. It's in small print, so look carefully. But answer those questions and see where you stand in your level of toxicity, because these are chemical stressors that do damage over time. And everybody needs to be aware of the glyphosate. I call it inevitable sickness because we now have enough glyphosate in our environment that our water supply is affected, all of our plant foods and all of our animal foods. There's no getting around it. And glyphosate is a toxic chemical that builds up in your body. The body tries to break it down, but it causes leaky gut. And if you have leaky gut, then you have autoimmune problems, just severe anemia, severe fatigue, just everything is severe, and you don't function well. So with glyphosate, that's everybody's problem. Everybody has that in their system. So let's talk about that and how to detox and improve that, because it's inevitable and it's here to stay, unfortunately. And that I don't want people to feel so panicked or upset about it, but we need to take it seriously and have a stress plan in place, because this is intense sickness. And the more food you eat, the longer you're alive on this earth to build up these toxins in your body. That's something we need to deal with. And so that may be the new kind of healthcare. But again, it comes from lifestyle. What are you going to do day in and day out? Your daily habits have the greatest impact on your health, regression or progression. And the last stressor is the emotional stress. Life happens. Things are going to happen that are in your control. Things are going to happen that are out of your control. So we've got to change where we can. And then the things we can't change, we boost our immune system so our immune system can handle it. We want to have our immune system ready for those types of stressors. And we need to make our immune system last a lifetime. 80 to 90 or to 100 years. Let's go for it. Let's believe in that. You have the healing capacity. But it starts today. And it starts with improving your tissue resilience and making your tissues receptive to healing activities. That's the important thing here. So remember, stress is intense, but I want you to be just as intense with your attitude and your stress management activities. And let's do it together so it doesn't feel like it's an impossible thing to, it's an impossible goal to reach. Yes, it's intense, but there's a lot we can do to help ourselves. So how do we do that? We become a brain snob and learn how to do the things that help our brain. So watch the videos, the Brain Snob episodes, hit the like button, also the subscribe button right now. Don't hesitate, do it right now, and hit the bell for the notifications so you know when the next video is ready for you to be watching. The blog is also available, createpurpose.com. Watch the orientation video. That'll give you a lot of background information. And become a brain snob and be that positive ripple effect in your community. Thanks for watching.